Well, Jesus ended his last Sunday on earth a bit anticlimactically. He walked into the temple and then just looked around. Just looking, and then he left. Not exactly what the disciples were expecting, and certainly not what the crowd was expecting. Well, if Sunday ended with the law, Jesus made up for it with a big bang on Monday. He went back into the temple, he overturned the table of the money changers, and he drove out those who were selling the doves and the lambs for sacrifices. He also prevented people from even walking through that temple court. Now, let me be very clear about something. Jesus wasn't upset that they were selling in the temple. What he was upset about is where they were selling in the temple. You see, where all of that took place is in the outer court, or the court of the Gentiles. It was the only place in the temple where Gentiles could gather. It was the only place they could come and hear about God. It was the only place where those who were alienated, separated from God, or in our modern terms, lost, could come and hear about God. That's what upset Jesus. It bothered him. Didn't seem to bother his disciples. Didn't seem to bother the crowd, but it certainly bothered him. Because you see, Jesus, he loved all people. The Jews had this perverted perspective of God. They believed that he loved them only. He loved Israel, and certainly he loved Israel, but God loved all people, and he still does. And Jesus came to seek and to save all people who are lost. John tells us in John chapter 3 and verse 16 that God loved the world in this way, that he sent his only begotten Son. And so while no one else loved, Jesus loved. Certainly not the character of modern day kings, right? I mean, they love their spouse, they love their kids, but the media doesn't portray them as people who are lovers. They're presented as strong and stoic people, and maybe they are that, and certainly Jesus was powerful. He wasn't weak. He was meek, but there's a big difference between weak and meek. He was strong. He was a man of character, but he was a man who loved. He loved people. And that's why he came. Again, not what the Jews expected, not the king they wanted, but that's the king Jesus was. That's the king Jesus is. That's our king.